Hello, it's that guy again with a new video, and I'm here to talk about the ins and outs of India, a place I recently visited in February all the way to April. Obviously had to be cut short due to the coronavirus. But yeah, I'm here to offer my best advice on what you should do and what you shouldn't do before you visit to India. So the first thing you need to worry about is a visa. Now for India it's specifically an e-visa. You can either get one that lasts you for about 3 months, and I believe there is one that lasts for a year as well, depending on how much you pay. The e-visa, I believe for 3 months is about £30, and I believe you can get a 30-day one as well, so have a look on the website for that. I'll put the link in the description if you need any more information. And then obviously you have to fill in the form on the website, and then you get it emailed to you. You get an email saying basically you'll have to wait 3, 4, 5 days before they process it, and then you'll get an email saying whether it's been accepted or declined. 9 times out of 10 it'll be accepted as long as you put it in correctly on the website. And then once you get that email to you, you must print it. Which is, you should have a printer or get someone else to do it, and then you show that at border control. So you land in India and then you show them at border control this e-visa. There's a specific queue for e-visa. So when I went a few weeks ago, I was actually in the wrong queue for ages. I didn't realise there was a separate queue for e-visa. It was pretty annoying, but there was no people waiting in that, so I managed to just go there, get it sorted, and it's great. So. Something that is obviously very essential when going to India is injections. Now, it is a bit of an irritating process because I left it at the last minute. I had to get them all done in the space of about 8 days, and I needed 6 of them. Them being like the hepatitis A, hepatitis B, typhoid, measles, and there's about 6, 7 or 8 of them depending on who you are, how many you've already had over the last 12 years. Just check your local doctors to see what's best for you and what ones you need. Obviously it's better to do it in advance. I recommend Boots because I did leave it again the last 2 weeks. So Boots basically had a meeting with me. I explained to them what was best, timing wise, to do it, and they were like, yeah, right, that's fine. My friend actually, who was going to come with me, he could have got them all done in a day, which is pretty good. So if you're in a proper panic, get them all done in a day if you want, but you'll have a sore arm at the end of it. But if you don't want to go to your doctor, Boots is good. They'll do it in a lot easier process kind of way, and there won't be really much worry about it. It's just a lot easier. But the doctors are cheaper. Boots will rip you off, to be honest. You will have to pay like 300 to 400 quid for all these injections. So do it in advance and just kind of check the prices between these two places because you want to get it done quickly and cheaply as well. So you've got your visa, and now the next step is getting flights. Now, for me personally, I got mine on lastminute.com. This isn't some sort of advertisement. They were actually quite good. Otherwise, you can go directly to the airlines such as India Airways, Qatar Airways, Emirates, whatever your preferences, whatever's easier, or obviously the most cheapest option. Last minute is good because obviously they organise you go in there and then you return. They give you kind of best deals. Do it in advance because obviously when I did it, it was probably like 2 weeks before we arrived. I was bound to arrive, and we had a good price for probably about £600 for a return. And we got on the website, we were about to click it, we had the seats sorted, everything, and then the airline were like, no, we're going to put the price up by £200, meaning I could have had to pay £800, £900. So obviously the more in advance you do it, the better the price, so keep a good eye on that. But yeah, I do strongly recommend lastminute.com. Deals are fine, they work nicely, you can choose your day easily. It's different for me because where I live I've got to get a separate flight because I'm in the British Isles, so it's a little complicated, but no, get it sorted. Try and get the cheapest deal you can, and if you want to do stopovers, obviously they're cheaper. Like for me, I stopped in Muscat, which is in Oman, and then on the way back I had to stop over in 3 places, one of them being south of India, one of them being in Dubai, and then obviously London. So whatever's quicker, easier and cheapest, I do recommend these specific sites. I'll try and find some and put some in the description, but my best advice obviously is do it in advance, and obviously you want to get the cheapest one, so do it in advance and then get it cheaper. It's good. There's not really any specific airlines I can recommend. I flew with Emirates on the way back, I believe, and then on the way there it was Air India, which are very good airlines. Oman Air are really good as well, quite a peculiar choice. I don't think many people really know about Oman Air, but they're obviously a top airline with all the nice seats and the nice food. Remember, I wasn't sure about this, but obviously if you're going on a connecting flight, your luggage gets transferred onto the next flight. You don't have to worry about going through getting all your bags after the first flight and then getting that all sorted. So it's fairly straightforward. So a big question when going to India is what do you bring? Like, you don't know, you've never been before, you don't really understand much about the country that much, or maybe you do. But generally, what do you bring? You want to learn more, and you're scared, you don't really know what's going on. So the first thing I would say is bring this book that you might have seen on the background here. This is called Rajasthan, Delhi and Agra, Find a New Planet. It's like an informative book that gives all the little pieces of information about the country. Teaches you about the language, about the food, places you shouldn't go, scams, trains, all the pieces of transport, hotels. Basically everything's in this little book here, which is really good, by the way. It helped me a lot. Whenever I was in an emergency, I would look into the language page, which I wasn't in any emergencies, thankfully. But I'd look into the language page and it would help me out. It took me about a day to learn about 3 or 4 phrases, but that's practice. Next thing would be a first aid kit. Now make sure you have this on you when you can. Now I carried a pouch around me that I put around my waist, and in that had my wallet, my phone, because there's going to be pickpocketers around. Just keep an eye on them. But this is obviously, you must prepare this before you go. Make sure you have your first aid kit, and obviously inside this is going to be the likes of plasters, obviously burn gel. That was my tube ticket that you should have. Just the essentials. Ice packs, which is very, very essential. Don't carry this around with you. Just put like the little bits, like the more important bits, such as your plasters and your maybe like a heat blanket. Just put that in your little pouch and wear your shirt over it, because then you won't get pickpocketed. To be honest, don't even keep anything in your pockets unless you're on your own in your hotel or place of accommodation. It's all about safety. Keep your visa and passport. Keep your visa and passport on you at all times. Your visa looks like this. It's just an A4 bit of paper. So basically, just keep it in there like that, and basically, just keep that in your pouch. And no one will pickpocket you. You're all safe from there. So a lot of people that go to India tend to travel around the country. They'll visit the likes of Delhi, Mumbai, Jaipur, Agra, where the Taj Mahal is, which is all great. You want to make the most of your time there and see all different places. However, I was actually with the teaching program on a website called IFRE Volunteers in a place called Faridabad, which is just south of Delhi. And I would recommend them kind of programs if you want to stay longer. Now, I say that because obviously it's going to be cheaper. So you pay a certain amount for obviously the program. You get accommodation provided, meals provided for you each day. There's a lot of these programs all over the internet. This one was quite cheap from what I saw. It was a lot easy to do. You get your visa, your flight sorted, and then obviously they'll provide you food, accommodation. They'll look after you. You'll be in touch with the coordinators. Just for them though, make sure you go at a good time, because obviously I went in February and there wasn't actually that many volunteers, and to be honest with you, there was none at all. So obviously in the middle of the year, later on, maybe there'll be more people on the program. But if you don't want to do the program, that's fine. Obviously go travel around, if it's alone or with someone. I was alone, so it was my job to kind of meet people and get to know the locals a bit, which was a challenge at first, but it's all part of the fun. But yeah, travel around, have a look at it, go to the Taj Mahal, go around Delhi, go to Mumbai. Obviously that's an hour train away, but yeah, enjoy it and make the most of it. Thanks very much for watching. That's been everything with this video. On the next video we'll talk more about Delhi and my time there, talking about the ins and outs of when you're actually there. Yeah, thanks very much and see you soon.